Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Backyard Gardening Coop, and today we're talking about the chicken food that we've started to go with for our 11 hens. There was a time when we first had these hens that we would only buy the layer pellets or the layer crumble for our hens, and they weren't laying the healthiest eggs. So we started to find out that you needed to add different things into their food, and I wanted to show you how we're making that happen with our method of different ingredients in their feed. And to start with, of course, you're going to have your 16% layer pellet. We don't buy the fancy brands, we just get the basic brand. It's about $11 or $12 for this bag. It's 40 pounds, and this bag can fill up our large feeder within their run. So we make sure we get the pellets because we have a gravity fed feeder, and the crumble doesn't actually go through the feeder that well for the hens to be able to get to. We start with that, and then we get our Coastal brand calcium poultry shell, and this is helping them get the calcium that they need for those eggshells to be solid when they lay them versus those thin eggshells or even those slimy eggshells that you can't even use. We've had issues with that, so we started buying this. This is a 50-pound bag, and we will mix that in with our food, our pellets. Also, one of the things that we enjoy doing is using the soldier worms or black fly larvae. They love this, and we at first were just using it as a snack, but because they like it so much and it's so rich in calcium, we like to make sure we add this in with our pellets and in with our calcium. Another thing that we found that our chickens like is the Purina Flock Block. We didn't use this for the first 6 months of their time in their chicken run, but the first time I put the Flock Block in their chicken run, they loved having this. It's something that helps them scratch and peck and claw to get the food. It gives them something different to do than just eating out of the feeder, a little bit more of a natural type food item here for them, or way to get their food, I should say. And the thing that we've decided to do is we got these little 1-gallon galvanized pans, and that way we can just literally set the Flock Block inside the pan, as you see, and you can put it there and it won't be touching the ground and the dirt and the mud and in their run where they do poop, keeping them a little bit safer, a little bit healthier. So these are the items that we've gone with for our hens. They've been laying healthy eggs for 8 months. They've been doing a good job with egg production. They're not getting sick, and actually we had a hen get sick and she's done so much better now through this process that she is laying healthy eggs once again and feeding our family. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself a couple 5-gallon buckets with really good lids. I love this one that screws off and on. It stays nice and tight and dry inside the bucket. Or you can go with this model that you have to like pull off. It more so pinches down around the lip of the bucket. Now that you've got your supplies, you've got your buckets ready, let's make this mixture happen. I'm going to start out with my 16% pellet. I'm going to dump some of that into the bucket right here. Not all the way up, just about maybe a third of the way up the bucket. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to get my calcium. I'm going to mix it in to my bucket and dump a little bit of that in. Doesn't have to be as much as the food because they won't eat as much of that. They'll just need it a little bit. So you mix that in there. And then what you can start to do is you can start to dump these together back and forth, mixing that in first, making sure everything is nice and mixed up, back and forth. You see it mixing in there. Then do that several times until you feel comfortable with your mixture. Then I'm going to grab the soldier worms and I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of those in there too. Just dump that bag. It's not a very big bag. Dump that whole bag in there and then go through the same mixing process from bucket to bucket. Just go back and forth like this. 1, 2, 3. however many times you need to make that mixture happen. And then what you can do is you can come in here and you can look at the food, and you'll see as you dig through, there'll be some mixture of the calcium, the pellets, and the worms in the food for the chickens, and you won't have to worry about them not getting the nutrients that they need when they're coming to your feeder. Ready? In our run, we have a covered little run that comes off of their chicken coop, and that's where we like to keep our big 45-pound feeder. This thing will hold a whole bag of food. It's 45 pounds of food that can fit in here, and this type of feeder does better with the pellets versus the crumble. And so then obviously you can just sit here and dump her on in. Yeah, I spilled a little bit, oh well, they'll get to it. And then they've got all the worms, they've got all the calcium, they've got all the pellets that they need in this feeder for them here in a dry, safe area to eat. The run that we have for our hens is 12 foot by 21 foot, so it's rather large, but there still is some fighting when it comes to these hens on these flock blocks, so I like to spread them out, usually put one on this side and then another on this side. That way they get separated and they can all enjoy the food from the flock block. So we're over here now with our flock blocks. We've got 1 and 2 to keep the chickens happy. We've got our galvanized buckets here. That way the moisture doesn't come up through the ground and ruin the bottom of the flock block. Also catches some of this crumble that comes off. That way they don't miss out on some of that good nutrients from this. And I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna spread these out, and you'll see how much they enjoy using these. Good job, girls. We'll set one right here for them. And you can see how much they enjoy it. Look at it, they're coming right at it. They love that thing. Then I'll take the second one. That way they can all get to it, because you can see how they're already crowding around it. And we'll come over here to this side. And I'll put it down here. That way, once they recognize it's here, they'll have 2 things to go to and they can enjoy more and more of it. Now that you've got your mixture in your feeder and you've got the flock blocks for the chicken to peck and scratch at and enjoy, you're gonna find that you have much healthier eggs, much happier chickens, and this will help your flock thrive. Thank you so much for watching our video. Hopefully it was helpful. Take care.